My name's Fred Davis. I'm in Jackson, Mississippi, and I'm a retired real estate developer, and I'm also a family therapist. Yeah, I had never had a franchise. I'd never been a dealer before for any company, so I didn't know what to expect. But what Denver has done, what y'all have done, is you've taken me by the hand. I didn't have a background in advertising. Certainly didn't have a background in digital marketing. And you have done it all. And I don't think I know everything yet after 3.5 years, but you've done it. And I've not had to be an expert on anything. And you've held my hand, so to speak, with monthly, weekly, everything. And then there's even training that's online that I can, in the middle of the night, if I have a question, I can go to a segment about anything. And then as we've hired people, you've sort of taken them in, taken over there. And I don't know, I couldn't have done what we've done. I couldn't have accomplished what we've accomplished without you. Not even sure I could have been successful. So, you know, you always think when you get involved, well, there's a catch, and I'll find out what it is later, but there's something that they're not telling me. And as I've said before, I haven't found the catch. In fact, everything that I hoped for has been exceeded. And I tell people that. Sometimes you give my number to people and they call me, and I'll tell them kind of what I'm saying to you. There's no catch. It's a really great idea, and it's faster, cheaper, and better. We have built what we built, and we're big, and really big, and we've done it based on matching what we have with what people need. And we believe the network that we've created, the number of screens we have in the locations we have, is essential. It's almost a separate kind of business. And if you don't have that, you don't have anything to sell. So we focused on our infrastructure, so to speak, and we've done it by a bunch of relationships. But when we first started, we wanted to, break even. And I'd been in business over the years, and breaking even is something that you think of in 2 years. A new company, a new concept that breaks even in 2 years, that's kind of expected. But the trouble with being in the black is before you're in the black, it's always in the red. So obviously we wanted to break even. And we were able to do that. We started the first screens in March, and in late November, we actually broke even, meaning we were taking in more money than we were spending. We were making a lot, but so that was success. And the good thing about this is whatever you made last month follows you. Our product is the most consumable of all. Once it flashes on the screen, it's gone. It has to be redone. It has to be repurchased. So if we have X amount of money revenue this month, next month we don't start over. We start from that. So success now is that we have something that will live on, without me or without any of us. It's a viable business. People try to buy it from us all the time. I think because I'm so old, they think he's going to kick the bucket. But success now, you keep raising your goal. And so we had a goal, and we met it. And each year we've increased. Last year we had a 30% increase in revenue. This year our goal is 25%, and we're on target for that. We're adding more people to help us market it. So I've accomplished what I wanted to do, which my friends say we're in the fourth quarter of this effort. One of my friends says, no, you're in overtime, Fred. But what I wanted to accomplish was something that would live on, My children or grandchildren may or may not want to fool with it, but they can certainly benefit from the revenue or sell it. So success now is a little more fun than success back when I was still, before breaking even, I was putting money in it. And the good thing about this business, it was not an expensive purchase. I don't know what you charge now, but at that point, it was not that expensive because I looked at a lot of things at that time. But then you spend money after that, but it was not exorbitant, and it was less than I projected. So I love that it worked. I have had businesses, I'll confess, that did not work. And entrepreneurship sometimes is the same as unemployment. Nobody's giving you a check. I think a mistake may have been that I thought, let's put up 20 screens and then start selling. And we did that. And you can do that. But what you get, it's like the small hook when you're fishing. You're not going to get a big fish. And what we got were little bitty entrepreneurs who thought, wow, that's a cool idea. But they didn't have an ad budget. So my advice to people who are just starting is put your head down, build your network, build your infrastructure, get up not to 20 screens, keep going. Life begins at 50 screens. And at that point, then your ad for your company is on every screen. And if you don't get business from 50 screens, your customers won't either. So you prove it to yourself by the calls you're getting for your ads. They have already proven it to themselves because they've called you because of ads. So the mistake I think I made was I thought at 20 that I was in business. No, your first business is, you don't have anything to sell until you have a lot of screens in great locations. Don't go for the low-hanging fruit. Don't go for not that they're a bad host, but don't go for the beer hall. Don't go where you know your buddy will say, sure. Go where you would want to advertise, where you'd want your company to be represented if you had a big Fortune 500 company. We built, everybody starts with one screen. And we struggled along. I think by the end of November, we had 43 or 44, started in March. I think the reason we made it was persistence. If you really know this is a phenomenal idea, and Jackson Heart, which was the big cardiology group in Jackson, won't even see you. And they keep saying, well, send me something. You give up. But I knew from what I'd seen you do out here that I hadn't explained it right. So persistence. It was 3 months before they got me to come in. And then when I came in, they were convicted that this guy is dead serious and he's not going to leave. And I bragged on them, and they were to be bragged on. They got 25 or 30 cardiologists. They're amazing. And so I think the secret sauce maybe is to make sure that you don't accept a no until the decision maker, not the manager, not the front office, not the guy who thinks it's a great idea, but the guy who makes the decision. Don't quit until the guy who makes decisions has seen what he's saying no to. Smart people don't say no to a great idea. And if you're right about your idea, faster, better, less expensive, new, then the smart guy is going to say yes. So persistence and knowing you had something they really needed. And that, if you can do this host setup side of your business, the advertising side will take care of itself. If you're beginning this, depend on the team. I never occurred to me that I could do this without y'all. But I know there are some people who think they can do it. There may be people who get into this, who buy a franchise, who are already in advertising, and they think they know it all. Well, that may be true, but you will go faster and better. It'll be more successful if you follow the blueprint and you get the team. They don't just give you a blueprint. Y'all do the work. Yeah, you work with the team and know this could be big. This is not just a $10,000 a month deal. This is huge. People need to know this is huge. It starts off small. Before we got that first big advertiser who put us over to where we were taking in more than we were spending, I think our revenue was $1,250 a month. So you're going to be tempted on some slow days to look at it and think, this is not what I thought. But it is, and it can be really big. And it is the segment of the advertising industry, this out-of-home concept is the fastest growing segment of the industry. And the industry is really growing. And the industry's been around forever. First guy wrote a message on the top of his barn, See Rock City or whatever it was. Outdoor started billboards, and billboards and advertising have a higher revenue in the billions every year in every part of the world. And it's not just branding. I thought at first, well, we're branding. People don't know you, we'll make them know you. No, Coca-Cola's ad budget, and nobody's more branded than Coca-Cola. Their ad budget every year grows, and it would, as we say back home, it would choke a goat. It's so big. So know that it's big, know that you can do it. Look at some of us and say, if that old guy can do it, we're going to be rich. All right. So we're still excited about it.